Welcome to the 2006 Latino Diamante Awards.
Bienvenidos a los premios Latino Diamante del 2006.
Brought to you by Anheuser-Busch. Along with Food Lion, Carowinds, and Depor Vita. Media partners La Conexión Newspaper, La Ley 96.9 FM, and Telemundo 44. Damas y caballeros, your host, Sergio Quintana.
I first want to start off the evening with a quick address from our congressman, or one of the congressmen here in the Triangle. He's been a strong advocate and supporter of the Latino Diamante Awards for quite some time now. I'm going to go ahead and bring him up onto the stage right now. Congressman David Price.
Thank you and good evening. Welcome to yet another Diamante Awards dinner, the 11th, I believe. I want to welcome you to almost to the 4th District. We're not quite in the 4th Congressional District, but we're in a territory that's very close. And of course, Brad Miller and Bob Etheridge and I together represent Wake County in a very cooperative fashion. So thank you so much for coming and for welcoming me, because this has become an event that we look forward to each year and that I believe marks an achievement in the Latino community in North Carolina, an achievement of leadership and of recognition and of outreach to the broader community that we really all ought to recognize and I think celebrate. So this is the occasion each year when we do just that. These awardees are an outstanding group. Their families, their supporters are here to recognize them. This is a special blend of talent and dedication that's represented. Diamante has, from the very beginning, put a lot of stress on leadership. And the signature event, the defining event, has been this recognition each year of people who have offered cultural and social and community leadership. One of the things that stands out about the Latino community in North Carolina is the kind of advocacy that you add to among all kinds of groups and all kinds of advocates in our state. Advocacy for quality public education, advocacy for a healthy and growing economy, for safe communities, for affordable housing, for many other things that not only will benefit the Latino community, which of course is the fastest growing component of our community in ethnic terms, but would benefit the entire community. We have to fight for these things in Washington. We have to fight for our place in the budget. And so to have the Latino community enlisted as advocates who appreciate the need for education and housing and a good growing economy, that's a very valuable thing, and it's one of the many contributions that you make. But that's, of course, not what we're here to talk about tonight. There are many, many policy issues and policy concerns that I hope you will share with me at any time. I will be glad to hear you out, and I want you to do that. But tonight is a night of celebration. Congratulations in advance to each of our award winners. Congratulations to all of our scholarship recipients. All of us here in the Triangle region of North Carolina and across this great state are greatly enriched by the presence and by the activism of the Latino community. Thank you to Diamante for underscoring that and for bringing us all together tonight. Have a great evening.
Please welcome Diamante's President of the Board of Directors, Francis Miranda Watkins.
I want to personally welcome everybody to the 11th Annual Diamante Awards. 11 years ago, when Lisette had the idea of these awards, she asked a group of Latinos to help her give it form. We have come a long way since then. Before I continue, allow me to thank the Board of Directors of Diamante, Inc. They are Jose Galvez, Jaime León, Larry Morey, Laura Mora, Rafael Osuba, Tati Padilla, Gustavo Schmidt, and Jose Serrano. For 11 years now, Diamante has granted these awards to individuals and organizations that have demonstrated excellence, achieved recognition, been successful, or contributed to the quality of life and success of Hispanics in North Carolina. It also honors outstanding Hispanics whose success helps to enhance the image of the Hispanic community in our state. The process is very simple. Public nominations are received from across the state for the various categories, and a selection committee is then formed of board members and non-board members. After a few days of deliberation and some hard debate, a recipient for each category is chosen. Jaime León chaired the selection committee that was also integrated by committee members Carrie de la Osa, Jose Galvez, Max Guerra, and Charles Sear Johnson. They had the difficult task of selecting tonight's award recipients. We, the board, would like to thank them for their hard work and time through this process, but we especially would like to thank you for nominating these very deserving individuals. I am honored and proud to serve as the president of the board of directors, and I am looking forward to working with the board and all of you next year to make Diamante and the awards even better. Thank you for your continued support.
Now, for the last 10 years, Anheuser-Busch has really been a strong supporter of the Latino Diamante Awards, helping Diamante honor the achievements that you all have accomplished. And in appreciation, Diamante would like to present Anheuser-Busch with a plaque. So here are Lizette Cruz-Watko, Executive Director of Diamante, and Alex Santana of Harris Wholesale.
We wanted to present Anheuser-Busch this award and recognition because they're much more than just a corporate supporter. Whenever we ask for something, they say, what can I do? Is there anything else you need? They go way beyond. For example, they've been supporting the Latino Diamante Awards for 10 years. They're our longest running sponsor. The plaque reads, Diamante is pleased and proud to recognize Anheuser-Busch, and it says, La responsabilidad importa. For 10 years of commitment and support to the Latino Diamante Awards, we are grateful to you for making a difference in the community. Thank you very much, Alex. And also thank you to Bill, who couldn't be here today because he's in St. Louis.
Hace 4 años, cuando comencé a trabajar con Harris Wholesale, recuerdo en una noche Pepe Caudillo dio su discurso en español, así que voy a imitar esta noche a Pepe Caudillo. Saludos para él donde esté. Realmente es un honor para mí recibir este premio en nombre de Anheuser-Busch y Harris Wholesale. Y me siento doblemente complacido porque, si no me equivoco, soy el primer hispano que recibe este reconocimiento de Diamante en nombre de Anheuser-Busch. Quería darle las gracias también a todos los miembros del directorio, a Frances, a la presidenta y por supuesto al capitán de este barco, que es Lisa Cruz Walco. Muchísimas gracias.
He said thank you very much, and he's honored for being the first Anheuser-Busch Harris Wholesale employee to receive an award. Thank you.
Santino, everybody. Everybody.
Tonight's keynote speaker is an award-winning investigative reporter who has written about issues of race and poverty for more than 11 years. His family moved to the United States from Peru in 1960. In 1999, he won an Alicia Patterson Foundation Fellowship to write about the impact of Latino poultry workers on rural towns in the South. He moved from Washington, D.C. to Pittsboro, North Carolina to conduct his research and stayed to document the growing Latino community in the Southeast. He's a recipient of the 2005 Latino Diamante Award for Community Involvement and has just released his new book, A Home in the Field, How One Championship Team Inspires Hope for the Revival of Small-Town America. The book tells a true story of the Jets, that's that soccer team. It's composed of immigrant kids who shocked the soccer world in North Carolina and made it to the state soccer championship finals and has continued to make it to those finals ever since, but not before overcoming lots of challenges and obstacles. Please welcome Mr. Paul Cuadros.
As Sergio was saying, in 1999, I moved to a small, little, rural hamlet in North Carolina called Siler City. It's a poultry processing town. There are 2 plants there, and chicken is the major industry in that county, Chatham County. And I moved with the intention to write a policy, sort of wonky kind of book on immigration and the emerging Latino community in the rural South. And the next thing you know, I'm writing about football and el juego bonito and these immigrant kids kicking the ball around on a field. Just goes to show you that you never know where your life is going to lead you. When I moved to Chatham County, I found myself alone. This is a rural community, and I didn't have much to do, so I began to coach little kids about 10 years old, in soccer in Chatham County, and I met a wonderful group of boys, Latino boys in Siler City, who were not playing organized soccer. Soccer here in North Carolina is so well organized, especially in the Triangle. You have these big, huge, giant leagues with all these kids, mostly white kids, in these bright, beautiful uniforms. In the suburbs, they pay hundreds of dollars to play, but the Latino kids, they are playing all the time. But they play in their shorts and in their T-shirts with busted-up shoes on dirt fields, in tennis courts, on the streets. They are the epitome of what we call street ball. These guys have basically transformed my life. When I met them, they were about 11, 12 years old. I began to coach them, and I saw their brilliant talent with the ball, their love of the game, and this sort of spirit that they have when they get together and they play and they express themselves. But as we were sort of successful in the club system, I learned that there was no high school team. There was no varsity team at Jordan Matthews High School in Siler City at that time. And that troubled me because I couldn't imagine these young men and girls as well going on to high school and not having an athletic career in the sport that they loved. And in addition, as we all know here, in terms of aspirations for higher education, for many kids, for some kids at least, for athletes, earning that athletic scholarship can be the only way to higher education. That was a path that was locked up for them because there was no team. So I took it upon myself, and together with many people in the community, teachers, community leaders, some politicians, businessmen, we advocated for the creation of a soccer team at JM. Unfortunately, we hit a brick wall. The resistance to the creation of the team was because of traditional cultural values in Siler City. Siler City is a football town. Siler City is a baseball town. Siler City is a basketball town. It is not a soccer town. And the longtime residents wanted to keep it that way. Soccer for them was a foreigner sport. Soccer for them was something strange, something different, something that they didn't want on their football field. And they resisted it tremendously. The kids themselves petitioned for the team. The kids themselves advocated year after year after year, please let us have a team. We want to represent our school. We want to wear the school colors. We want to represent our community. Through a lot of hard work from a lot of people, we eventually got that team together. And that story is in the book. It's a wonderful story as to how the community came together and we were able to get a team. I stayed on to help coach that team because I'd known the boys for quite a long time. And amazingly, in 3 short seasons, we made it to the state championship finals. The first predominantly Latino teams to make it to a state championship. And I have to tell you that for Latino students here in North Carolina, to be recognized on that sort of level, to be able to play at SAS Soccer Park, to be able to represent their community, that was the height of a lot of people's dreams. And it certainly was mine. Siler City, like the team, has been through a lot. I've described it as sort of you've heard the 5 stages of dealing with grief. Well, these communities sort of go through the 5 stages of dealing with immigration. And Siler City, back in the year 2000, back in 1999 when I moved there, they had just gotten past the sort of denial and shock stage, which is the first stage where people in a community that are starting to see an influx of Latinos, they say, who are these people? Why are they speaking that strange language? Following that stage comes depression, and I've heard many people in Chatham County and in other parts of North Carolina, in Morganton, in Duplin County, say the same thing. They say, our community is changing. Isn't it sad? Following depression comes anger. And Siler City back in 2000 was an angry community. And I think like today, like the rest of America today, America is angry. It's angry and confused about immigration. It's angry and confused about the growing number of Latinos in the interior portion of the United States. And it doesn't know how to respond, and so it lashes out. Many people don't know that for a community like Chatham County, or even for a state like North Carolina, the migration of Latinos to this state is not an accident. This is a planned event by many companies who recruited Latinos at the border, Latinos in Mexico, Latinos in California, and Chicago, who came to work at these plants and in other industries, in agribusiness, and stayed. So when people like Pat Buchanan says that this is an invasion, it's not. It's been an invitation by some of the best representatives of our country. The book, aside from dealing with immigration, it really is about the story of these kids. Who are these kids? What do they believe in? What do they love to do? What do they dream about? And so often we read about Latino youth as being troublemakers, involved in gangs, involved in trouble with the law. But the reality, if you spend time with them, the reality is so different. They're like any other set of kids with big dreams, just trying to grow up in America. And I know what that's like. I know what it's like to be the son of an immigrant growing up in this country. And I think that's one of the reasons why I connect with them so well. You know, behind all that joy that the boys have and the hard work that they continue to do, there are some real desperate moments with them when I coach them. And a lot of this revolves around many of them being undocumented here. They all know that their chances of higher education, of college, are very, very slim. They are not fools. They know exactly what the score is. You know, despite all the obstacles and problems that some of these kids face, they view and tackle each day with hope, with esperanza. And I think that's why that word is in the subtitle of the book, because I think that these kids bring hope not only for themselves, but also for their community. It's fear that's fanning the winds against Latinos. But there is hope. There is a way to counteract that. Immigrants bring hope to America. They see the country with new eyes and a wondrous vision of new possibilities. If a group of young Latino teenagers can band together and take on all the odds, the prejudicial fears of our community, and still succeed, then we can do that too. The lessons of the Jets is that hope can transcend the fear-mongering that is so pervasive today in America, and that we can all come together and find a new way. That's all I have. If I've been passionate tonight, it's because I love these boys, I love these kids, and when you meet them, when you get to know them, then you've got to do something. So I leave you with that. I'll leave you with those final words. Thank you very much.
The first award is for art and culture, and this award recognizes significant contributions to the visual, literary, cultural, and performing arts, media, communications, or organizations that promote artists or art programs in the Hispanic community.
Arts and Culture. Arte y Cultura. Claudia Gonzalez Griffin. Claudia Gonzalez Griffin plans, implements, and coordinates artist-in-residence and affiliate artist programs at the McCall Center for Visual Arts in Charlotte. She has firmly established a reputation as an outstanding artist specializing in one-of-a-kind artistic jewelry. Claudia constantly endeavors to create opportunities for other artists within the Latino community. She is a respected advisor for the Latino community, as well as the broader arts and cultural community. Claudia is a member of the Speakers Bureau of the Arts and Science Council and created the children's stage at the Charlotte's Latin American Festival. She is also a member of the Latin American Women's Association and the Latin American Chamber of Commerce of Charlotte. Claudia is from Bogotá, Colombia. She holds a degree in Education and Art History from the Universidad de La Sabana and an Associate's in Arts Jewelry from CPCC. She resides in Hunterville with her husband, Don. Claudia Gonzalez Griffin.
And to present the award of the evening, please welcome from Telemundo 44 General Manager Jaime Rivero Nieto.
Good evening. On behalf of Telemundo 44, Telemundo 44, it is my pleasure and honor to present this award to Claudia Gonzalez Griffin, Latino Diamante Award for Arts and Culture.
Gracias, Jaime. Winning the Diamante Award is not only mine alone. It also belongs to the many different cultures and communities that have opened their minds and their hearts to learn about the Latin American culture. Without the assistance of these communities, I could not have created programming that educated and enlightening about our culture. I really thank all of them. I also want to thank my beautiful family, both in America and in Colombia, especially to my father, who is present right here. My mother, Cecilia, my sister, Pilar, Rocio, Marta, my sister, Patty, my brothers, Jorge, Hugo, and Alvaro, and my 11 nieces and nephews. Lastly, I want to thank my husband, Don, for inspiring me to be and to do more than I ever thought I could possibly do. My commitment is, and always will be, to impart the culture and legacy of what it is to be a Latin American, to all cultures, everywhere. Thank you very much.
The next award is for business, and it recognizes excellence in the business and or corporate community. The nominee may be retired, self-employed, or otherwise working in the business field.
Business, negocio. Astrid Chirinos. Astrid Chirinos is founder and principal of Diverso Global Strategies, DGS. DGS has been providing multicultural marketing and workforce development strategy to Fortune 500 companies and organizations in the Charlotte region. Astrid chairs the Charlotte's Mayor's International Cabinet in the Latino Pathways Partnership and is vice chair of the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Workforce Development Board. She is a member of the Centralina Commission for Economic Development 9-County Region and a member of the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools CMS Task Force. Currently, Astrid is board member of the Charlotte Chamber of Commerce, the Levine Museum of the New South, the Children's Theater of Charlotte, WFAE 90.7 NPR, the Biz Hub, the North Carolina Public Policy Research Center, and past chair of the Latin American Chamber of Commerce of Charlotte. She received the La Noticias 2003 Excelente Businesswoman of the Year Award and the 2004 Charlotte Business Journal Catalyst of Diversity Award. Astrid earned her BA in Environmental Visual Design from North Carolina State University. She is a native of Caracas, Venezuela, and presently resides in Charlotte. Astrid Chirinos.
And to introduce this year's recipient of the Business Award is Program Director of La Ley 96.9 FM, Ms. Julie Garza.
It's always a problem for us short people. Muy buenas noches. It is a great honor and pleasure for us to present this award on behalf of everyone at La Ley 96.9 FM. It is my honor to present the 2006 Latino Diamante Award for Business to Astrid Chirinos.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Lisette, and the board of Diamante for providing this platform every year to recognize the contributions of Latinos. Thank you to the committee. Thank you, Georgia Lewis, for nominating me to this. It is very special for me today because this is where I got my foundation. Not only an excellent education, even though I'm wearing Carolina blue and Wolfpack red through and through, but I also got the foundation as an adult and as a professional that has been able to provide me all the opportunities to serve corporations, Fortune 500 companies and organizations that have come to North Carolina to deal with the great shift in demographics. I want to make sure that I don't forget anything, so I brought my notes. Those opportunities were given to me by a lot of those employers here in the Research Triangle area that trusted me, that gave me opportunities, that provided me resources to be able to move forwards and to create great self-esteem that brought me to Charlotte. Economic development is the transfer and the creation of opportunities, of wealth, of resources, and of knowledge. And it is up to us as Latino Americans to take our leadership and our skills for the next generation. I want to make sure that I thank a lot of the people that have helped me be able to do what I have done today and to make a difference and an impact. As you can see, I'm very much involved in the community because I know that is the only way that we're going to be able to take our country to the next level. I want to thank my wonderful soulmate and partner in life and rock, Robert Glenn, for all his support that he's given me through the beginning of my business. I want to thank the Latin American Chamber of Commerce of Charlotte that is here today. Thank you so much, Elisa, Saili, Rafael, Carl White, for being here with me today. I want to thank Brenda Anderson, my associate, who has been a mentor and a great support. Thank Compare Foods, Eligio Peña and Teresa Peña, a company that has moved here to the southeast from the northeast to bring their base to North Carolina to provide the support for that shift in demographics. They're the largest Latino-owned supermarkets in the United States, and they chose our state to be able to make a difference. I want to thank also my wonderful sisters here in Raleigh that are here, Kim, Glenda, and Charlotte, and their wonderful husbands, because they were my family when I came here 27 years ago, and they have been a great support. And of course, I want to thank my parents for their love, their vision, and I want to thank the Almighty for having given me the wonderful people and the wonderful opportunities. I want to leave you with one thought that has always inspired me for all the years that I have been here, and it comes from Leo Burnett. He always said, reach for the stars, because if you don't get them, you will come back with stardust or diamond dust. Thank you so much for being here today.
Now, the next award is the Community Involvement Award, and it recognizes contributions made to the Hispanic community through devotion of time and energy with the goal of improving the quality of Latinos and Hispanics in North Carolina.
Community Involvement. Trabajo en la comunidad. Roberto Ortiz. For 8 years, Roberto Ortiz has worked for the City of Wilson as a house inspector, a community development officer, but most recently as Assistant Human Relations Officer. Roberto is a human force in helping Latino residents in Wilson find affordable housing, jobs, educational opportunities, and to access services. He founded the Hispanic Helpline. He also writes a weekly column called Latin Corner in the Wilson Daily Times. He works to ensure that Latinos are represented in board and commissions in his community, as well as serving as a Hispanic human and employment rights advocate. In 1999, he received both the City of Wilson Employee of the Year Award and the American Red Cross Outstanding Newcomer Award. He was appointed by Governor Easley to North Carolina's Martin Luther King Commission and is chairman of the City of Wilson's Hispanic Task Force. Roberto Ortiz was born in Ponce, Puerto Rico. He holds degrees in psychology and nonprofit business administration and has studies towards a master's degree in public administration. Mr. Ortiz lives in Wilson with his wife Yvonne and his 3 children, Chloe, Jean-Paul, and Juliana. Roberto Ortiz.
And to present the Community Involvement Award, here is Mr. Mike Leary, publisher of La Conexión newspaper.
Buenas noches. At some point, somebody has to represent the newspaper, and I'm lucky enough that that's me. But there's a whole group of people that put that paper out every week, and really, without them, I'd be nobody. So, on behalf of everybody at La Conexión, it's my great pleasure to present this year's Community Involvement Award to Roberto Ortiz.
Wow, I feel like the Oscars here, you know? Remember when Cuba got that, little thing and he went crazy? Well, not me, I'm not going to do that. Well, maybe a little bit. Woo! I was happy today. It's a good night. It's a really good night. I want to thank the board of Diamante. I want to thank the selection committee. They said the hard work everybody does I'm humble and honored. We usually work hard in our community. Because I know you do too, and you deserve this as much as I do. And it's just incredible to see things like this to happen. You don't expect it. You work hard. You just work and hope, to touch people's life. To take out of that vocabulary, our vocabulary, the word indifference, which I just odio, because indifference is what's tearing the community apart. We got to care for each other. We got to love each other. We got to start seeing each other not like little documentos with legs, but like human beings. And when that happens, we'll be free. A free community, a loving community. I want to thank my wife. I'm nothing, 17 years. It's been a love story, and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. My sweetheart. My daughter, yeah, she deserves it. Thank you. I got some great family members here supporting me. Sister-in-law Yvette, and my good friend Robert. Thank you for being here. And 3 amazing little people that are the reason I wake up every morning with a big smile and hoping that each day I don't let you down, and especially I don't let God down. Chloe, my daughter, I love you. I got my Juliana and Jean Paul. So because of you, I go forward, believe me. And lastly, I want to just encourage you, challenge you, beg you, be involved, help somebody. It's so gratifying. Change somebody's life, okay? I love you. A kiss. Thank you very much.
Our next award is for education, and it recognizes outstanding contributions in the field of education through teaching, administration, research, and/or participation in professional education associations.
Education, Educación. Bárbara Cantizano. As Executive Director of Central Avenue Bilingual Preschool, Bárbara Cantizano is improving the educational level of the growing Hispanic Latino population. Her work is preparing Spanish-speaking preschool-aged children by providing them language, cultural, and life skills that they can use to be successful in school and in life. Barbara's work goes beyond the children by impacting the entire family. She helps provide American life and computer classes which allow the parents to develop skills towards becoming a good citizen. She has been a voice for bilingual education development. She oversees presentations and workshops to educate the community on the benefits of bilingual education. Barbara is a graduate of the Leadership America North Carolina program and serves on the board of directors of the Crisis Assistance Ministry and the Council for Children. Barbara was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina, where she received her degree at the Universidad del Salvador. She is currently enrolled in the Organizational Communications program at Queen's University. She lives in Charlotte with her husband John and their 11-month-old son Patrick. Bárbara Cantizano.
And to present the Education Award, please welcome Hispanic Diversity and Inclusion Specialist at Food Lion, Ms. Isabel Lalinde.
Good evening. On behalf of Food Lion, I'm proud to present Bárbara Cantizano, who has really made a difference supporting bilingual education in North Carolina to the 2006 Diamante Latino Award for Education.
Thank you. There are a lot of people that I'd like to thank, and this feels really good. It's great. It's a great honor being nominated, but it really feels really good to go back to the preschool on Monday and share this with all the people that do the work on a day-to-day basis. I'd like to thank Diamante for having this award available to people like us. I'd like to thank the board for choosing me. I'd like to thank my husband for putting up with me and for taking up so much of the load. And I'd like to thank my board of directors at the Bilingual Preschool for nominating me, and the staff. The staff is really the people, the warriors in the trenches on a day-to-day basis. And this wouldn't be in my hands if it wasn't for them. This really comes at a very good time in my life because I was just starting to come to terms with the fact that I will never win an Oscar. So this feels really good. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Our next award is Health and Science, and it recognizes individual contributions and achievements in the field of health and science. The nominee may have promoted these fields through individual performance, teaching, research, organizing programs, or assisting others.
Health and Science. Salud y Ciencia. Steve Davis. For 10 years, Steve Davis has worked as Director of Migrant Outreach Services at Greene County Healthcare. At the beginning, the clinic provided services to 150 Latinos. Now over 13,000 Latinos receive services because of his efforts. Steve has developed one of the best outreach programs in our state, credited with being one of the first to send health providers out in the field. As a result, he has won twice the Sister Cecilia Abhold Award for being the best outreach program along the eastern United States. In order to serve his patients better, Steve is studying with a traditional curandera from Mexico as well as a Native American medicine man from California. Since 1996, Steve has been chairperson of the Fiesta Latina. He also serves on the Health Services Advisory Committee for the East Coast Migrant Head Start Project. He is a frequent guest on La Invasora 104.7 FM, sharing and answering questions about health issues. He is often called upon by the governor's office during natural disasters emergency situations. Steve holds 2 Bachelors of Science from East Carolina University on Child Development and Family Relations and Spanish. He is a native of Eastern North Carolina and currently lives in Snow Hill, where he loves to spend time with his children. Steve Davis.
And tonight to present the award, Dr. Fernando Puente.
It's with great pleasure to present the 2006 Latino Diamante Award to Mr. Steve Davis.
Hello, everybody. Well, when Lisette told me I only had 30 seconds for my speech, I love to talk. That's like asking Michael Jordan to only score 10 points in a basketball game. But I'll make it quick. I actually wrote it down so I would keep it under 30 seconds. So I've been working with the Hispanic Latino population for over 10 years and have not only fallen in love with the Spanish language, but also with the Spanish culture. This population holds a very special place in my heart. This group is so many times overlooked for all the wonderful things they bring to the local cultures where they live. The strong work ethic is something that we can all learn from. Their family values speak for themselves, and their desire to succeed and provide a better life for their children is amazing. Excuse me. It saddens my heart to see the way Hispanic Latinos are sometimes treated. Instead of being rewarded for all their hard work and contributions to their local communities, many times they are looked upon as being invisible and in many cases as being a problem or burden to their communities. I know for a fact this is not the case, and it is an honor for me to get the opportunity on a daily basis to help, to learn from, to fight for, to defend this population that has contributed so much to where I live. I will continue this fight until we have won, because this is something that I have learned from them. Yes, I can, or as in Spanish, si se puede. Gracias.
These next 2 awards represent an investment in our future. It also represents our hope for a better tomorrow. I'm talking about the Youth Accomplishment Academic Scholarship Awards, and the scholarship is awarded to recognize individual contributions and achievements of Hispanic youth in North Carolina. This year, we're very proud to be able to present 2 awards.
Youth Accomplishment. Logro Juvenil. Juan Castaño. Juan Camilo Castaño is a first-semester student at North Carolina State University, where he is pursuing a degree in biomedical engineering and eventually wants to become a medical doctor. During his senior year at Rose High School in Greenville, Juan attended honors medical school at ECU Brody School of Medicine. He was treasurer of the National Honor Society and Math Club, as well as a member of the Latin and Science Honor Societies. Juan was on the principal's list for his entire high school tenure. He set an outstanding performance at the National Academic World Quest in Washington, D.C. He obtained a first place and a second place at the Science Olympiad Regional Competition and received a first place in the state at the Model United Nations Academic World Quest Competition. Juan tutors students on different subjects and advises them on how to become a successful college and scholarship applicant. He volunteered at Pitt County Memorial Hospital and helped distribute food with Firstborn Community Development Center, in addition to assisting teaching a religion education class through his Catholic youth group. Juan is originally from Medellin, Colombia, but has called North Carolina home for the last 6 years. He lives in Winterville with his parents Maria Elena and Alvaro and his 3 siblings. Juan Castaño.
And to introduce the first winner of this award is the Carowinds Group Sales Manager, Paul Gould.
It is with great honor and on behalf of Paramount's Carowinds that I present this award to Juan Castaño.
Muy buenas noches, señores y señoras. It is a great pleasure to be recognized for all my accomplishments by receiving this prestigious 2006 Latino Diamante Scholarship. I would like to express my sincere thanks to all the members and all the sponsors of the Latino Diamante organization, and I would also like to thank my parents for all their love and support that they have given me through all my life. Thank you.
Youth Accomplishment. Logro Juvenil. Jaime Sea. Since age 11, when Jaime Alberto Sea stepped onto a television set in his native Colombia, he's had a passion and dream of becoming a journalist. He is closer to making that dream come true at UNC Chapel Hill as he works towards a degree in journalism and mass communications. Jaime was news director for the daily Lowdown news show at Enloe High School, where he was in charge of a 25-person crew. His work earned him honorable mention from the National Academic and Television Arts and Sciences for excellence in broadcast news. He ranked 7th in the state and 8th in the nation in the National French exam. He covered the Congressional Hispanic Caucus Institute in Washington, D.C. for Hispanic Link News Service. Jaime is a strong supporter of Hispanic students having access to higher education. He wrote articles, has appeared on NBC 17's At Issue and UNC TV's Legislative Week in Review, has appealed to legislators, and even took his message to Washington, D.C. He is a charter member and youngest board member of the Triangle chapter of National Association of Hispanic Journalists. He was an El Pueblo youth leader and has helped produce television programs with Carolina del Norte Television and has volunteered at Diamante activities. Jaime was born in Cali, Colombia. He lives in Holly Springs with his parents Jaime and Nubia. Jaime Sea.
And to introduce this year's second Youth Accomplishment recipient is Diogenes Ruiz for the vitamin De Por Vita.
Buenas noches y saludos. On behalf of De Por Vita, the nutritional supplement designed specifically for the Latino community, it is my pleasure and honor to present the 2006 Latino Diamante Award for Youth Accomplishment to Jaime Sea.
It is truly an honor for me to be here tonight in front of you. When I think of this great accomplishment, I realize that I shouldn't be standing here right now. Truth is that there are several people who should be receiving this award tonight. Among them, my parents, among the crowd. There are two people who bravely moved to this country in order to provide better opportunities for my brother and I. Two people who do nothing but commit 150% of their time to their two children. People who day by day continue to shape my life with their positive examples. That is why tonight I say to my mom and dad, a million thanks will not be enough. And of course, this is clearly God's work through them. So I also want to take this moment to thank the Almighty. I have been lucky to have people who have committed a great amount of time to my personal and academic achievement. And tonight, I would like to extend this award and thank my mentor, Mr. Rafael Usuva. Once again, a million thanks will not be enough to thank you for your great commitment to me. I would also like to thank my former and current teachers and everyone else who has committed their time to me. Many thanks to Latino Diamante, Lisette, the board, the sponsors, and everyone who makes this event possible. La Familia Ramirez for being here tonight, and Mati Lasso for being a great helper to get me to college. She was a great help. Thank you, Mati. And as the great Albert Einstein once said, I will not try to become a man of success, but rather try to be a man of value. Gracias y buenas noches.
We're now down to our final award of the evening, the Diamante Award. This award recognizes contributions made by an individual for more than 10 years to the Hispanic community through devotion of time and energy, with the goal of improving the quality of life of Latinos and Hispanics in North Carolina.
Diamante Award. Premio Diamante. Fernando Trulin. Fernando Trulin is Director of Hispanic Latino Programs at Brunswick Community College, developing courses in literacy education, basic skills, occupational training, and entrepreneurial skills in Spanish with vocabularies in English. Fernando transferred to North Carolina in 1984 to work as construction foreman with DuPont and has been working with Latinos ever since. He was the first Hispanic teacher and initiated the ESL program at Cape Fear Community College. He has developed programs in leadership and conversation in Spanish, OSHA, and trade courses, as well as rural entrepreneurial through action learning. He was instrumental in the creation of La Plaza, a joint venture with Brunswick Community College, Brunswick Community Schools, and the Mexican government to educate Hispanic Latinos to provide better access to education to the non-English speaking community. Fernando is a pioneer in his own right. He founded Chispa, the first Latino organization in Eastern North Carolina. He founded the Wilmington chapter of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and co-founded the first Southeastern Coast Hispanic CDC. Fernando serves on the board of organizations such as the UNC Wilmington HUBA, Wilmington Chamber of Commerce Education Committee, the Community Resource Center Burgaw Prison, the North Carolina Association of Community Development Center, the Latino Coalition of North Carolina, and the Association of Lower Income Housing of North Carolina. He lives in Supply with his wife of 37 years, Hilda. They have one son, Fernando IV, who lives in Japan. Fernando Trulin.
Harris Wholesale's Latino Marketing Representative, Mr. Alex Santana, will present the Diamante Award.
Buenas noches, good evening. On behalf of, thank you. Okay, on behalf of Anheuser-Busch and Harris Wholesale and Harris Incorporated, I'm honored to present the Diamante Award to Mr. Fernando Trulin.
No, I'm not going to talk that much. I just want to say thanks to Diamante, thanks to everybody. I will be able to, everybody here, one way or another, almost everybody here I know. from years and years on the daily battle for the Latino issue. That's the way I call it. But I thank my wife and my son for giving me the support that you need to have in this life to battle for 30 years and the Latino issue. And I came to this area in North Carolina when you can find Latinos with a microscope. Now, we have them everywhere. So, I'd like to thank all of you. I have many names, but I would like to say something. Brownsville Community College and all the authorities has helped me to develop a dream and idea that I wish everybody will follow. It's education for the Latinos. And one thing more. How we recognize the Latinos here in North Carolina? By religion? No. By language? No. By only thing is that we all live here in North Carolina. We are all Latinos and brothers. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Executive Director and Founder of Diamante Inc., Lizette Cruz-Watco.
I want to thank you for coming this evening to celebrate the 11th season of the Latino Diamante Awards. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of commitment from many dozens of people, and a lot of commitment from our families as well. I know my husband commits a lot to the cause. But Diamante is it's more than the awards. We are an organization that tries to nourish the Latino culture in our state. We are a very small organization. We have some grandiose dreams, and we want you to be part of those dreams. We want someday to have the first North Carolina Arts and Cultural Center for our state that has to deal with Latino heritage, Latino arts, Latino culture for everyone to share. Our view is that culture is also part of advocacy. We can use the cultural heritage that our parents have passed down, that we as first generation bring to those folks around us. And that will help us meld into a better community. If people understand each other, they will respect each other. And that's the way we would like to bring culture, art, and heritage to North Carolina, with respect and honor each other. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. I hope you enjoyed Santino, and I hope you enjoy dancing later. Thank you very much.
This has been an exciting evening. Join us again next year when we celebrate our 12th year of the Hispanic Achievement in North Carolina. I'm Sergio Quintana, and it's been my pleasure being with you this evening. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you next year. Good night, everyone.
The 2006 Latino Diamante Awards was brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, Longwood, Food Lion, Carowin, and Depor Vita. Media partners La Conexión Newspaper, La Ley 96.9 FM, and Telemundo 44. This has been a Diamante Inc. and Professional Video Makers production.